My fiance's skin is always stamped with childhood's bite mark. They say she's sick oral fixation, she just nibbles a little. Childhood drapes herself over his shoulder, gives me a lazy smile. Sister-in-law, brother's just being kind. A couple bites never hurt anybody. I crack sunflower seeds, even more delighted than she is. Oh, don't stop on my account, keep going. The live comments scroll? Why isn't the sister-in-law following the script? Childhood's smile freezes for half a second, but I'm already doing mental math. Perfect dash finally caught them red-handed. My big cannon boyfriend can now step into the spotlight. Fully legit. Before we continue, smash that subscribe button and tell us where you're streaming from. The morning after our families dropped the joint press release, Chase's tie was yanked crooked. He showed up to pick me off the executive floor with a faint pink bruise on his collarbone and unmistakable bite mark. What happened to your collarbone? Chase glances down, expression unchanged, doesn't even bother to cover it. Jade bit me. Jade is childhood friend who grew up in the same mansion, ate from the same bowl, napped in the same bed. I stay quiet for a second. Only one thought circles my head. Excellent. Opportunity delivered. Chase probably thinks I'm brewing a storm. He quickly grabs my purse, pulls me into a hug, sighs like he's helpless. Mad? She's just a kid at heart. Old habit nips me now and then. The therapist says it's oral fixation regression. Gnawing gives her security. Never outgrew it. He says it as casually as explaining why cats claw the sofa. Don't take it personally, he murmurs. I'll talk to her when we get back. I look up instantly, sincerity cranked to maximum. No, absolutely not. Chase blinks. She's ill, remember? I smooth his collar like I'm pledging an oath. She probably feels she's lost brother to this strategic engagement. Scolding her would be cruel. Let her bite doesn't bother me. He studies my face for 3 beats, deciding whether I'm being sarcastic. I'm dead serious. 24 karat serious. The comments float by. Script abandoned again. Shouldn't she slap him and curse him out? Hello, her eyes scream. Taylor, pass the knife. Hello, her eyes the knife. Pretty sure she never loved this fiancé. Correct, I never loved Chase, only power and money. The alliance was never my idea. Richard traded me for a prime parcel of sterling waterfront, and both families wanted a fairy tale bonus. All I could think about was sidelining Richard, so I compromised. I had been wondering how to extract myself when to divide by appeared the day after the announcement. Gift-wrapped exit strategy. Chase, thrown by my reasonableness, exhales in relief. He slips an arm around me. Knew you'd understand. I lean against him, nodding like the perfect doll. Once we're in the car, I message boyfriend. Childhood's panicking progress +1. Dylan, you sound thrilled. Of course, the faster they go, the faster I call off the engagement. After that, it's my turn. I miss you. I'll bring City Hall to you. He replies with a gif of a puppy wagging its tail so hard its body blurs. I laugh out loud, can't reel the grin in. Chase glances over. Who's texting? You're glowing? Bestie. I lock the screen without flinching. Which one? You don't know her, I say, flipping the phone face down. Emery ran into her recently, just re-added her. Not a lie. Ethan is my Emery and my first love. Everyone has a white moonlight. Our fathers were partners for years before their falling out. Ethan's family moved overseas. We met again last month at a venture capital gala. Chase doesn't press 3 years and 0 suspicion. Jade is a capable childhood, glued to Chase. My role, the understanding, headache-free fiancé. He thinks I'm generous because I care. He doesn't know my bestie chat is topped by a contact labeled Big Cannon. The comments howl. Bestie. Big Cannon? Yep, that's me. Later, it isn't just the collarbone. After we move in together, fresh marks pop up every few days behind an ear, on the webbing of a thumb, across a shoulder. Each time, my reaction lifts weight off his shoulders. She's struck again? Has the therapist re-evaluated her? I inspect the bruise like an art critic. That spot's risky. Tell her to watch the pressure next time. Chase lifts his chin, exposing a pale throat, almost coy. Babe, check if it broke skin, okay? Human bites equals tetanus shot. People. I pat his cheek like I'm soothing a golden retriever. Broken? Antiseptic creams in the TV console. Help yourself. I'm gaming with bestie. The cream was actually bought by J. One midnight, they stumbled and drunk, entwined, kissing against the foyer wall. Her heel whizzed past my foot. I cleared my throat. They sprang apart. Jade, cheeks flushed, shoved the tube at me. Sis-in-law's home? Here, put this on, brother. I eyed the fresh split in Chase's lip, exhaled once, then smiled and set the ointment on the coffee table. So considerate, Jade. Chase looked guilty. Serena, go shower, I said without looking up. You reek of bourbon. He exhaled in relief and vanished. Jade waltzed into the master, grabbed Chase's pajamas, and trotted to the guest room. Comments scroll. Chase's inner monologue. Crisis averted. He thinks she's chill. She's roasting him to big cannon in real time. Eventually, guilt calcified into casual acceptance, then outright entitlement. Chase reports updates like he's reading the weather. Jade's in a mood today bit me harder than usual. I don't lift my eyes from my phone. Per you. On screen, Ethan has sent a gym selfie, black tank, beads of sweat racing over carved abs, thick lashes, and a wicked boy grin. Ibs of the day, please confirm receipt. I save it with a tap. Childhood advances steadily +1. Ethan. Where'd she mark him this time? Me. The Adam's apple. Ethan. Does getting bitten feel good? Me. Stop, you're unlocking new kinks. But you can pick something else, go online and choose whatever. Chase stepped out of the bathroom, toweling his hair. Chatting with Bestie again? I said, locking my phone. She says her boyfriend's built like a statue. Tell her to spam you with photos then. He grinned, joking. She already does, every day. Chase thought I was kidding, gave a small laugh, walked over and ruffled my hair. The fresh bite mark on his neck hadn't seen antiseptic cream yet. It was already purpling. I glanced at it and thought, Jade, keep it up, don't you dare disappoint me. Live comments. Future sister-in-law daily routine, +1 bite mark, +1 selfie, one step closer to the breakup. Jade bites Chase to provoke, but inside the sister-in-law is cheering her on. First anniversary of our strategic engagement. Chase reserved my favorite omakase bar and gave me a staggeringly expensive necklace. The diamond pendant flashed blindingly under the lights. He clasped it around my neck himself, and when his fingers brushed my skin, I saw another ring of bruises on his wrist, fresh, still speckled with dried blood. This necklace? Mom helped pick it, he said. She hopes we'll set a date soon. The Sterlings are showing plenty of sincerity. If we could just be a glamorous, detached couple, life would be easy, but Chase can't let go of Jade, and I can't stand the thought of Ethan suffering. My mind drifted back to the day I ran into Ethan. Back then, the two families' businesses were tightly entwined, and Chase hadn't yet been shackled by our engagement. For once, he offered to escort me to an evening cocktail reception. Halfway there, his phone rang. Jade's whimpering coo came through. Brother, you promised tonight to me. If you don't come, don't ever come again. At that point, she only hoarded his time and his person. Chase dropped me at the hotel entrance, apologetic. Serena, just represent both families, okay? Something's come up. While I was mentally cursing him to hell, I spotted the figure from my memories. Ethan. 7 years. The lanky kid who used to roughhouse with me had shoulders broad enough to block the wind. Long time no see. When did you get back? Why didn't you find me? Half a year ago, I looked, but rumors said you were engaged. Does he treat you well? I tugged the corner of my mouth. He treats me great. Ethan's eyes darkened. You still bite your lip when you lie. We talked by the river for hours. About his life overseas, about our childhood shenanigans. Neither of us mentioned Chase once. Ethan's coat carried the familiar scent as if nothing had changed. Serena, you listening? Memory receded. Chase was waiting for an answer. I stared at the diamonds, brain calculating. That land project should be wrapping up. Ever since I kept urging Chase to spend more time with her, she needs you. Jade's courage had ballooned. While I was on a business trip, she even crept into our master bed and slept in his arms. Chase's guilt meter keeps dropping. Next step. Let the elders see it with their own eyes. He tucked a loose strand of hair behind my ear. I am listening, I said, snapping back. A wedding date? No rush. Besides, your mom's birthday is next weekend. Let's throw her a great party. Have Jade come too. She grew up in your house. Your mom must miss her, and she can help me brainstorm. Chase hesitated, surprised. I looked straight into his eyes, utterly sincere. She's the most important sister in your life. How could the celebration happen without her? He pressed his lips together, moved and squeezed my hand, but he grinned like a cat that had stolen the cream. Serena, it means the world that you feel that way. My pleasure. I slipped my hand out fast. My smartwatch was flashing a message from Ethan. I miss you. Leave comments. Future sister-in-law's brain-running dual-core, left side humoring Chase, right side sending heart GIFs to Ethan. Chase is drowning in her tenderness, clueless he's just one piece on the board. Eleanor Sterling's birthday banquet was booked at an old money hotel east of town. I arrived early to supervise the flowers and the cake. Eleanor paraded me among her friends as the perfect future daughter-in-law. Alex's impeccable degree, docile temperament, zero trouble for her son. She clasped my hand. Serena, you and Chase have been together a year, time to make it official. I nodded sweetly. Whatever you say, Auntie. After New Year's we'll have both families to dinner and lock in the date. Of course, I leave it to you. The private room door swung open just as I finished speaking. Jade walked in, holding Chase's arm. The table fell silent for 2 heartbeats. Eleanor's razor gaze raked over their linked arms and Jade's adoring stare, definitely not the way a sister looks at her brother. Happy birthday, Auntie. I picked this Hermes scarf. You looked lovely in it when I was little. Jade stepped forward with the gift, smiling sweetly. Eleanor gave a polite smile. Jade, you're here. Make yourself comfortable. She took the box but glanced at me. In that glance, inquiry and a flicker of apology, as if to say, I know my son and his childhood are off, sorry you suffer. I answered with an it's fine, I don't mind smile right away. Her guilt inched higher. Live comments. Eleanor's eyes. Our family owes you. Future sister-in-law, glad you noticed. Future sister-in-law farming guilt points. When the bar hits 100, shape press alt. During the meal, Jade sat beside Chase, serving him food, passing napkins, toasting together, looking exactly like the young mistress of the house. The elders exchanged subtle, raised eyebrow looks. I pretended not to notice and focused on pouring tea for Eleanor. Auntie, your tea. You dear girl. She accepted the cup, trying to ease the tension. Jade lost her parents young. Chase is used to looking after her, please be understanding. Of course, I said with a smile. Once we're truly family, I'll take care of Jade myself. That line made Eleanor pause, probably picturing the surreal scene of legal wife tending the childhood. Her guilt meter nudged again. Live comments. Eleanor, nothing wrong with that sentence, and yet everything is. Guilt progress, 50%. Target, 100%. Halfway through, Jade suddenly tugged Chase and started whining. A server had brought the wrong dessert. After the switch, she took one bite and claimed it tasted off. First a pout, then red-rimmed eyes. Finally, she curled into the chair, hugging her knees, tears falling. The elders stared awkward. Chase knelt at once and coaxed softly. Jade, don't cry, I'll order you another. She said nothing, just flung her arms around him and buried her teeth in his neck. In front of everyone. The teeth broke skin. Blood beaded along the bite. Only the hum of the air conditioner filled the room. I caught from the corner of my eye. The chopstick slipped from my future mother-in-law's hand. Mr. Sterling's face went the color of slate. A few aunts and uncles traded stunned glances. One cousin quietly lifted her phone. My reaction? I lowered my head and kept spooning soup, pretending I'd seen nothing. Speaking up now would cost me too much. Letting the whole table witness the truth was 100 times more effective than any accusation I could voice. Only then did Chase register how wrong this looked. He shoved Jade away with a jerk. Panic flashed in his eyes as he looked at me. I answered with the gentlest smile. I owned. His shoulders sagged in visible relief, but his parents' eyes said they were ready to disinherit him on the spot. The live comments scrolled again. Mama Sterling dropped her chopsticks. Papa's face turned green. Future sis-in-law's lips curled up. Future sis-in-law, I don't know, she literally delivered herself to me. Jade licked the smear of blood from her lips, satisfied, then finally sensed the glacial silence. She glanced around. Panic flickered across her face. You uncle, auntie, I didn't mean it. I have this oral fixation face. Oral fixation face? Eleanor's voice was terrifyingly calm. Funny, I've never heard of a 24-year-old still stuck in one. It's real, Jade blurted, frantic. I saw a therapist for it when I was little. Enough, Chase cut in, harder than usual. Jade, go home. She stared at him, fat tears about to drop, but this time he didn't wipe them. He ushered her to the door and didn't even fetch her coat. When he stepped back into the private dining room, the air was below freezing. Serena, Mom. We'll talk after we eat, Eleanor said, lifting her chopsticks again, fingers trembling. No one in the Sterling camp spoke another word. Only I, unruffled, poured tea and cleared bowls. Between refills, I slipped Ethan a message. Childhood delivered herself on a platter, guilt meter at 80%. Dylan, going smoothly? Just need to nail the closing act tonight. Which role? Wronged yet considerate fianc. Ethan sent a sticker of a puppy giving a thumbs up. Oscar's yours. After the last course, Chase went to get the car. I waited outside for the breeze to cool my face. Eleanor approached, voice low and heavy. Serena, I saw everything tonight. The Sterlings owe you an apology. I turned, posture perfect. Auntie, please don't say that. Rest assured, she squeezed my hand hard, I will give you an accounting. No need. I dropped my eyes to just the right note, 5 parts hurt, 5 parts endurance. Jade's unwell. Don't defend her. Her tone could have sliced bone. A grown woman bites my son in front of the whole family? Once this leaks, where do the Sterling and Vance names land? I pressed my lips as though caught in a dilemma. Auntie, Jade really leans on Chase. He told me not to quarrel with this sick girl. Sick? A cold laugh. She's gravely sick, all right. This isn't finished. Wait and see. You've been wrong, child. Now get in the car. The wind's picking up. I let the tiniest smile surface as I slid into the passenger seat. Chase glanced over several times, finally unable to bear it. Serena? Don't explain. My voice stayed even. It's your mother's birthday. I don't want to fight. But I need a minute. A minute for what? You're angry. Listen, not now. I turned to the window, the picture of a fiancé swallowing a mountain of grievances. He fell silent, knuckles whitening on the wheel. Then he took my hand. I swear I'll cut Jade off completely. You'll never face this kind of humiliation again, okay? I pulled my hand back and kept staring out the glass. My phone vibrated. Ethan. Big gun. Finished? When are you coming? I typed with that expression. Jordan, big gun. No rush. I'll wait. Chase glanced over. Who's that? Bestie shopping date this afternoon. Where? I'll drop you. Buy anything you like. On my card helps to clear your head. The comments drifted across my screen. Chase wonders who Bestie is. He doesn't know that Bestie is waiting for his fiancé to call off the engagement. Chase. Who? Ethan. Me. The next afternoon, Ethan's apartment. The living room floor looked like a crime scene of last night's clothes. My stilettos lay abandoned by the door, his sneakers under the coffee table, his hoodie draped over the sofa back, my blazer across the armrest. Ethan leaned against the sofa arm. I reclined against him, using him as a human bolster for almost an hour. He hadn't moved, obedient as the golden retriever I'd grown up with. He twisted a strand of my hair, smiling lazily. Exhausted from last night or just waiting for intel? I tapped his chest. Waiting? I burrowed deeper into the crook of his shoulder. Eleanor chewed Chase out for 2 straight hours. Once they got home, my girlfriend across the street heard every word. I rolled over, chin on his collarbone. The Sterlings invited me for tea at 2. Ethan's lashes cast long shadows when he looked down at me. I ticked off the plan on his fingers. 1, smile, but not too happily. 2, reject every sweetener they offer. 3, make her think calling off the engagement is her idea. He listened, the other hand idly coiling my hair. When I finished, he said, if she wants proof you've moved on, show her my photos. Gym selfie, suit and tie shot, and the apron selfie. That last one screams husband material to moms. I propped myself up so I could look straight down into his eyes. Lying there, he looked harmless, outer corners of his eyes soft, 2 shirt buttons undone, collarbones showing. He laid my hand over his heart. They'll probably table 2 offers. First, Chase swears off childhood as pledge in exchange for you staying. Second, they bump the bride price, throw money at the problem. Then, reject option 1 on the spot. Whether he cuts her off or not, you can't look like the girl who's jealous of Jade. The moment you seem to care, Eleanor gains leverage. You have to convince her you're bowing out, not because you're furious or heartbroken. He paused. But because you already have the better man. He pressed his lips to my forehead for a heartbeat. Tough riddle, huh, Gasu? We stared at each other, breaths mingling. His eyes locked on mine without blinking. His Adam's apple bobbed once. Then he pressed his lips together, on purpose refusing to be the first to crack. I was the one who lost it first and laughed. Only then did the corners of his eyes curve. What should I wear the day I get promoted from toy boy to main boyfriend? Just the apron and skip the inside layer. He exhaled, tucked my head back into the hollow of his shoulder, voice muffled. Then act your heart out this afternoon. May the breakup be a smash hit. Taylor, I brushed a kiss along his jaw. Wait for me. Right now, in the Sterling mansion, the parental flogging is in session. Chase sits opposite with his head down while Eleanor slams a stack of photos onto the table. Look for yourself. Every single shot shows Jay glued to Chase at one event or another. There's even one of the two of them asleep in what was supposed to be our bridal master bedroom. My future mother-in-law's intel network is terrifying. This is the little sister you keep talking about? Cold sweat drips off Chase. He forces himself to speak. Mom, Jade has been frail since childhood. Didn't our family promise the Sterling side we'd look after her? Shut it, Mr. Sterling bangs the table. I'm asking if you realize how wrong yesterday was? Chase's mind floods with Serena's look of swallowed grievance. His chest tightens. He admits in a tremor, I was wrong. To do that in front of everyone, you've disgraced the Sterlings. Serena is such a fine girl. Chase is cursed till his scalp stings, but all he hears is a buzzing blur. Inside his head loops Serena's gentle smile as she said, it's nothing. Whatever he does, Serena backs him in uncheckable safe harbor. He had thought Serena and he were welded together for life. A tender fiancé plus a cute little sister, what could go wrong? Chase bolts for the door to call her, desperate to finish the stammered apology from the car. He discovers she has blacklisted him. His heart feels ready to vault out of his throat. Panic numbs his hands and feet. That afternoon, I arrive on time. Eleanor has brewed the tea herself and sent the staff away. Today, she wears no makeup. She clearly hasn't slept, the fine lines at her eyes deeper than usual. Serena, she begins, we've already scolded him. Roe and her parents will take her back overseas. Chase knows he was wrong. He swears he won't see Jade again. Ew, haha. So, she pauses, choosing words. I'd like to discuss the marriage contract. Auntie? I set my cup down. I want to call off the engagement. I inhale, summon the expression I drilled in the mirror 10 times. 30% hurt, 30% resolve, 40% clear conscience. Auntie, I really tried. Every time this past year I saw those bite marks on Chase, I told myself Jade is sick. Jade needs him. I can live with it. My voice starts to quaver. But yesterday, in front of all those elders, I finally felt I will always be the outsider. Serena. Auntie, it's not jealousy. I just keep thinking, if we had children and they saw their father bitten by another woman at a banquet, how would I explain? Eleanor's face changes completely. She can stomach a daughter-in-law who suffers in silence, but never a future grandchild tainted by such perversion. That was the throat shot I rehearsed all night. One strike, lethal. She stays silent a long while, then sighs. About the public announcement? I won't make it awkward for the Sterlings. We'll simply cite irreconcilable differences and state it's mutual, no third party mentioned. She studies me, her tone suddenly as formal as a ducal decree. The Sterlings owe you a favor. Anything you need, come to me. I'll fix it. For a second I'm stunned. My goal was just a clean split, but I've netted a mother-in-law's political capital as a bonus. Quinn. Enough of Auntie. Her eyes rim rare red. Call me Godmother. Live comment scroll. Godmother. Sis just exited a toxic engagement and gained a godmother profit. Outside the gates, the air tastes of freedom and victory. I speed dial Richard. News travels fast in our circle. Serena, Dad misjudged the man. I'm riding a high right now. Power, money mine now. So is the love I actually want. Baby wanted, baby got. So I'm taking the reins at the company. And happy news, you remember Uncle Shaw? Why bring up that geezer? Last I heard he was living it up abroad. I laugh. The strategic engagement can be swapped. Ethan is perfect. I'll bring him home soon. Speak of the devil, Casey, big doodle. Battle report. I tap 3 words. Engagement off. Dylan. May I now call you my girlfriend? I lean against a roadside camphor, biting my lip to keep from cackling on the street. Trial period first. Duration? Depends on my mood. Ethan sends a selfie see-through apron shot. My hair tie circling his wrist from last night. Day 1 of trial, boss. Please inspect. Pass. Only a pass? No raise? Come tonight. We'll negotiate your raise face to face. A long pause then. Define raise. R approved or bedroom approved. You'll find out when you get here. He replies with a tail-wagging puppy sticker. Live comments. While Chase balls on his carpet, Sis is mailing a probation offer to the new boyfriend. We'd update on Chase? I'm here for the double standard meltdown. The breakup press release drops. Chase suddenly surfaces, posting a public apology. Chase solemnly apologized to Serena and vowed to win her back. Please bear witness. I sprawl on Ethan's sofa scrolling when I hit that line. Ethan glances over. Says nothing, just nudges the hot tea closer to my hand. Chase apologized, I say, mem. Public apology plus a promise to recourt me. Not nervous? Not jealous? Ethan ponders, then asks, let him run. You still only get to pick me. I burst out laughing and toss my phone into the sofa corner. Fine, I pick you. Some public apology as if we had a deep ocean of love to begin with. He might as well stay chained to Jade. Ethan has been pouting coquettishly. I close my fingers around his warm wrist. I won't just pick you, I'm taking you home to meet my parents, and once they approve. I tug him down and finish the sentence against his ear. His earlobe burns red, but his hand doesn't loosen. Deal, he husks, I'm all yours. Meanwhile, Jade assumes that once Serena is out, she finally marry her brother. Even seeing Chase's apology post, she decides Eleanor must have forced it, her brother loves only her. So the very next day she ran to Chase's company to look for him. She told herself brother was finally free. They wouldn't have to sneak around anymore. They could hold hands, hug, kiss out in the open. But the moment she shoved open the door to the executive floor, she saw only chaos. Papers littered the carpet, the crystal ashtray overflowed with cigarette butts. Chase was slumped in his chair. Tie loosened to mid-chest, eyes shot red. Right in front of him sat the framed photo from the day he and Serena had announced their strategic engagement. Brother? Chase lifted his head. The look in his eyes froze the blood in her veins. No fondness, no tenderness, not even anger, just disgust and regret. Jade, he rasped, voice like sandpaper, get out. But brother, Serena already called off the engagement, we can finally enough. Chase cut her off, the words soft yet blunt as a dull knife. Go home. Jade bit her lip and backed out. She told herself Chase had only endured their parents' scolding for her sake. He was in a bad mood. He needed time and space. Once the storm passed, they would go back to the way they were. They never did. From that day on, Chase changed. He stopped answering her texts, stopped picking up her calls. She waited at his gate until midnight, only to watch his taillights flare the second she stepped toward the driveway. For the first time, Jade panicked. She went to Eleanor begging to see Chase, telling her they'd grown up together, that she couldn't live without him. Eleanor was mid-mahjong with a table of society matrons, eyes never leaving her tiles. Jade, she murmured, tapping a fresh tile, do you know what people like us hate most? Sam. Home wreckers, Eleanor said, and swept her tiles face down. Self-draw. I win. Only then did she turn, smiling so faintly it barely existed. You've already ruined the sterling name. Of course, my son isn't innocent either. 3 of your parents' overseas distributorships run through Sterling supply lines. I've informed them the taps close next week. Jade's lips trembled, no sound came out. Eleanor looked away. They've booked you a facility abroad. 20-something years old if you're sick, get treated, if not, learn manners. Don't come back. On departure day, she hugged one last hope and WhatsApped Chase from Riverdale. Brother, I'm leaving. You really won't see me off? The message sent, then sprouted a red exclamation mark beside it. Blocked. I never imagined Chase's talk of winning me back was real. 10 days after the joint press release announcing the split, Ethan picked me up from work when Chase stormed over. Serena! Who is he? Did he steal you away? Ethan calmly shifted me behind him and squared his shoulders. Certified alpha move. Impressive. Mr. Sterling, can I help you? Shut up. Chase didn't even glance at him, bloodshot eyes fixed on me, voice cracking. You told Mother you wanted out, but I never agreed. I peeked out from behind Ethan and looked at Chase with eyes he'd never seen. For 3 years I'd bent, given in, swallowed every insult. I'd rolled my eyes behind his back and mentally cursed his ancestors. He'd only ever met the fiancé who murmured, "It's fine. No worries. Go stay with her." That woman was gone. His gaze dropped to the fresh bruise and bite mark on my neck. Ethan had been possessive lately. All alpha pup claiming territory. How could you let him? Chase lunged, seizing my left wrist, voice breaking into a shriek, pupils blown wide, whole frame shaking. The old scar still rode the web of that hand. I glanced at his gripping fingers, then at Ethan's hand holding mine. One hand carried an aged bite scar, the other a thin hair tie. I laughed, not in anger at the hypocrisy. Chase, I said, Jade can bite you, but I get bitten once and you lose it? He flinched. I tugged free, stepped back, and stood beside Ethan. Ethan glanced at me silent, then threaded our fingers together. Chase stared at our joined hands as if he'd been slapped. Don't leave me, please, Chase. I cut him off. He blinked. I rarely interrupted, always let him finish. You ask how I could let him bite me, I said. I ask, how many times did you make me endure it? He opened his mouth, nothing came out. Jade claimed she was sick. You believed her. Said she needed you. You ran. Said it was just a bite. You told me not to mind. I held his gaze, calm, almost gentle. Chase, I didn't choose Ethan over you. If you treated me right, I might have stayed. But you pushed me away. His face drained of color. We started to walk past. Behind us, Chase rasped a final cry. Serena! Tell me, when did you and he begin? I paused. Ethan glanced over, waiting. I tipped my head, smiled. Ethan, I'm starving. He curved an eye-crinkled grin and squeezed my hand. Let's go home for dinner. Life with both love and career in bloom feels exquisite. Ethan cooks after work. I hug him from behind, cheek pressed to the flex of his back through gray sweats. He kills the burner, turns, and looks down at me. Good mood tonight? Yep. I rise on tiptoe and nip his chin light, deliberate. Tagged, you're mine now. He studies me a long moment, then he lifts me onto the counter. He's taller. He bows until we're eye level. That's not enough of a mark, he murmurs. Do it right. He dips his head. This time there's no restraint, lips to collarbone, then teeth, gentle but sure. I close my eyes, fisting the back of his shirt. The stovetop dinner never happens. We make something else entirely. Outside, streetlights flicker on. I tunnel my fingers through his hair and whisper at his ear. Did the package we ordered online arrive? He lifts his head, eyes glassy, smoldering beneath. Come on, let's test it out. Live comments scroll. The real claim isn't a bite, it's biting each other. Someone turned the tap off. Future sister-in-law's drowning too. Look at this bowl so big and round. Look at this pup so soft yet wild. Thanks for listening. Rate today's story 1 to 10. If you liked it, like and share. Tell us your thoughts below. Subscribe for more. See you next episode.